Earlier this month, we were studying about the first claim of Jesus Christ, I am the bread of life. And then we are we move to the next claim of Jesus Christ, which is I am the light of the world. Nagkaroon po tayo ng dalawang session po noon kasi nung una, the first time in Jesus Christ, He claimed that He is the light of the world. Chapter 9 po doon, nagkaroon po siya ng illustrations na when the people could realize and recognize na apart from Jesus, we are all blind. And this time, we are going to discuss about I am the gate or the door for the sheep. Ito po ang passage ng ating pangatlong I am of Jesus Christ. I am the gate or I am the door of the sheep. Truly, truly, I say to you, the one who does not enter by the door into the fold of the sheep, but climbs up some other way, is the thief and a robber. But the one who enters by the door is a shepherd of the sheep. To him, the doorkeeper opens, and the sheep listen to his voice, and he calls his own sheep by name and leads them out. When he puts all his own sheep outside, he goes ahead of them, and the sheep follow because they know his voice. However, a stranger they simply will not follow, but will flee from him because they do not know the voice of strangers. Jesus told them this figure of speech, but they did not understand what the things which he was saying to them meant. So Jesus said to them, truly, truly, I say to you, I am the door of the sheep. All those who came before me are thieves and robbers, but the sheep did not listen to them. I am the door. I am the door. If anyone enters through me, he will be saved, and he will go in and go out and find pasture. The thief comes only to steal and kill and destroy. I came so that they have life and have it abundantly. Blessed be the word of the Lord. For us po to understand, ano ba ang ibig sabihin dito nung claim ni Jesu Cristo, yung pang tatlo niyang claim about I am the door of the sheep. Sino po sa atin dito ang makapag-recall sa first two claims of Jesus Christ? And I'm saying this na importante po na balikan po natin yung aral natin last time kasi if we are not able to remember the lesson about I am the light of the world at saka yung I am the bread of life, we will not be able to comprehend ano talaga ang meaning, ang explanation, bakit po si Jesus ay nagkwento ng isang talinghagang katulad dito. So, let's have a review. What happened po pala doon sa John chapter 8? Ano po yung nangyari doon sa John chapter 8? Bakit po nagkaroon ng isang kaganapan that Jesus Christ claimed that He is the light of the world? Makikita natin doon na it was verse 12 of chapter 8 and saka sinabi naman muli sa the following chapter, verse 9, na sinabi niya that I am the light of the world. So, dito po, naalala po natin na during the wilderness experience of Jesus Christ, Ano ba yung maalala natin sa nakaraang lesson about Jesus Christ claiming that He is the light of the world? Nagkaroon po doon ng isang discussion between the Jewish leaders and also against Jesus Christ. And they were discussing about how come Jesus Christ was claiming na siya po ang nagsasabi na siya po ang ilaw. No, I am the light of the world. Nalala natin po, di ba? Noon po sa kapanahonan ng wilderness, ano pala ang nag-guide ng mga Israelites sa wilderness? If we can remember, sister, during the wilderness journey, ano po yung nag-guide ng mga Israelites sa panahon ng kapag araw? It was the pillar of clouds. And then, ganun din sa gabi, ano po naging guide ng mga Israelites on their journey kapag gabi? Also, there was a light. So, ito po yun ang scenario po dito mga kapatid. That doon po sa chapter 8, sinabi po ni Jesus kung gaano po kahalaga ang ilaw sa buhay ng tao, lalo na doon po sa bansa ng Israelita, even from the time of their wilderness journey, ganun din sila ngayon. The problem there is that hindi po nila maunawaan talaga ano yung punto ni Jesucristo. Sabihin nila, ay, Jesus Christ, hindi naman kami bulag, di ba? Bakit namin kailangan ng ilaw? Hindi naman madilim. Ang liwanag nga eh. Sa panahon nito, sa discussion lang ni Jesus Christ, it happened to be Feast of the Booths. At saka sa kapistang ito, for 7 to 8 days po, nagkaroon din po sila ng parang yung napakaliwanag ng Israel because they commemorate yung journey nila sa wilderness. Kaya they have so many lights going on. So nangyari dito, sinabi nila, Jesus Christ, it was in the past. Ngayon, hindi na. Kasi, ang pagkakaunawa din ng mga religious leaders, ng mga Pharisees especially, na nasa kanila na yung truth eh. Maginhawa na yung buhay nila ngayon eh. So, ano ba bang kailangan nila? And the Jewish leaders, they were actually the one who is guiding the people of Israel into the path of God. Ngayon, nagkaroon ng mahabang diskusyonan. Sabi nila, ikaw, hindi namin kayo kilala. Kami, disipulo kami ni Abraham. Ikaw, kanino ka bang disipulo? So they were having a really tough discussion in John chapter 8. They were discussing about who's the true disciples, sino po yung false disciples. Pagkatapos, sila po, sabi nila, we obey Abraham. Then ngayon, sabi ni Jesus sa chapter 8, o nga, si Abraham, before him, I am. Ngayon, kung tayo yung nasa sapatos, nasa tsinelas ng mga Israelites, hindi po natin yung kayang tanggapin. Wait a minute. Ikaw, I am? Ikaw, before si Abraham? Hindi ka pa nga matanda, di ba? Paano ka nauna kay Abraham? Ilang taon ka na ba ngayon? And ito po yung build-up po ng chapter 10 natin. That the Israelites, the Jewish leaders, were not able to comprehend kung sino talaga si Jesus. And because they were not able to comprehend, they were not also able to receive Him and to accept Him because wala talaga silang idea kung sino si Jesus. And Jesus Christ keep on telling them, ano ba yung cause ng unbelief ninyo? Ano ba yung cause ng hindi nyo pagtanggap sa akin? Sabi nila, hindi namin kayo kilala eh. Kasi ang alam namin, anak ka naman ni Jose at saka ni Maria. Wala namang mangyayaring galing sa Galilea yung yung Messiah. Di ba? So, they were not able to, and because of that, it just shows na wala talaga silang kakayahang makita ang katotohanan. At because wala silang kakayahan na makita ang katotohanan, nangyayari ngayon, hindi nila naunawaan. Now came chapter 9 of John. What happened? What transpired in John chapter 9? There was a blind man. A man that was born blind. Doon, they were having now a heated discussion against this blind man. As a matter of fact, sa chapter 9, we could only see Jesus Christ sa buong chapter at the beginning, at the end of the chapter only. Most of the scene dito sa chapter 9, we could only see the conversation between the man that received sight and against the Jewish leaders. They were not able to celebrate the healing of the blind man because, ano yung doon? Ano yung issue doon? Sino yung makapagbigay po ng sagot? Why the religious leaders were not able to celebrate the healing of the man that was born blind? Kasi ang issue naman nila, hindi nila matanggap-tanggap na si Jesus ay may kakayahan na gumawa ng miracle. And to the point that the Jewish leaders would want the blind man that was able now to see, na give glory to God. That you will deny this Jesus Christ as he claimed who he is. Ang sagot ngayon ng blind man, I do not know where he is from. I do not know him. But one thing I know, I was blind, but now I can see. Pagkatapos, because the Pharisees are not willing or were not willing to accept his testimony, it turned out at that third part po ng chapter, nangyari parang ang itong taong nakatanggap ng healing sa kanyang paningin, nakatanggap ng light, nakatanggap ng seeing, ay nag-sermon. Siya tuloy ang nangangaral ngayon sa mga Jewish leaders about the deity of Jesus Christ, about the amazing personification of Jesus Christ, about this, yung bang sabihin natin na, sino ito? Sino ba siya? Sabi niya, he is a prophet. And yet, the people continue and remain their stance that Jesus Christ is just nobody. Pero sabi niya, how this man named Jesus Christ be a nobody? From the very beginning of this world, it never occurred, it never happened that a man born blind received his sight. Towards the end of that, kasi hindi nila mapapa-oo, hindi nila mapapasunod itong taong ito na i-deny si Jesus Christ, they end up denying, discrediting that man. So, ano yung makikita natin ngayon sa mga Jewish leaders? May kakayahan ba talaga sila na makita nila ang mga bagay na dapat nila makita? No. Tingnan nyo na po natin yung huling party po ng chapter 9 ng John. Na ang purpose po ni Jesus sa chapter 9, ano yung judgment, yung gusto niyang gawin dito sa mundo? Na yung mga blind, they would be able to see, but those who claim that they can see, their sins remain. Ngayon, nilapitan ni Jesus itong taong ito at nag-testify siya sa kanya. Sabi ni Jesus, Nabalitaan ni Jesus sa verse 35, nabalitaan ni Jesus na ang lalaking pinagaling niya ay itiniwalag ng mga Parisiyo, kaya't nang matagpuan niya ito, ay kanyang tinanong, sumasampalataya ka ba sa anak ng tao? Sumagot ang lalaki sa verse 36, sino po ba siya, Ginoo? Sabihin ninyo sa akin upang ako'y sumampalataya sa kanya. Verse 37, sagot ni Jesus, siya'y nakita mo na, siya ang kausap mo ngayon. Wika ni Jesus. The same moment, the same scenario, the Jewish leaders, they were also talking to Jesus Christ face to face. This man, he was also having this conversation with Jesus Christ face to face. But different things happened. The Jewish leaders, they denied Jesus Christ. They rejected him. They don't receive his claim. But this man, look at what happened to him. 38, sumampalataya po ako, Panginoon, sabi ng lalaki, at sinamba niya si Jesus. Anong ginawa ng lalaking ito ngayon? Kasama sa kanyang pananampalataya kay Jesus, siya ay sumamba kay Jesus. And that would be a no-no for the Jewish leaders to worship Jesus Christ. Because hindi nila nakikita from their naked eyes kung sino talaga si Jesus. Sinabi ni Jesus in verse 39, naparito ako sa mundong ito upang humatol. At nang sa gayoy, makikita ang mga bulag, makakita ang mga bulag, at mabulag naman ang mga nakakakita. Look, this is also a warning to all of us. Balikan natin. Sinabi ni Jesus, naparito ako sa mundong ito upang humatol at nang sa gayoy makakita ang mga bulag at mabulag naman ang mga nakakakita. Narinig ito ng mga Parisiyong naroon at siya'y kanilang mga bulag. Sumagot si Jesus, kung kayo nga'y bulag, hindi sana kayo hahatulang may sala. Ngunit dahil sa sinabi ninyong makakakita kayo, nananatili kayong may sala. That's the backdrop of chapter 10. Chapter 10, verse 1. That will help us to understand what will happen and how we'll be able to comprehend the lesson. It is actually event 8, 9, 10. Tandaan ninyo ito. Papasok ang mga tupa ng hindi nagdaraan kung kaya't sa di dapat pagdaan ay magnanakaw at pisan. Ngunit ang nagdaraan sa pintuan ay siyang pastol ng mga tupa. Pinapasok siya ng bantay at pinapakinggan ng mga tupa ang kanyang tinig. Tinatawag niya ang kanyang mga tupa sa kanilang pangalan at inilabas tulungan. Kapag nalabas na, nangunguna sa kanila at sumusunod naman ito sapagkat kilala nila ang kanyang tinig. Sa iba, kundi tatakbong palayo sapagkat hindi nila kilala ang tinig ng iba. Sinabi ni Jesus ang paglalarawang ito, ngunit hindi nauunawaan ang ibig niyang sabihin. Verse 7, kaya't muling sinabi ni Jesus, pakatandaan ninyo, ako ang pintuang dinaraanan ng mga tupa, ang mga nauuna sa akin ay mga magnanakaw at mga tulisan, ngunit hindi sila pinapakinggan ng mga tupa. Ako ang pintuan, ang sinumang pumapasok sa pamamagitan ko'y maliligtas. Papasok sila, lalabas, at makakatagpo ng pastulan. Dumarating ang magnanakaw para lamang magnakaw, pumatay, at manira. Naparito ako upang ang mga tupa ay magkaroon ng buhay. Buhay na masaganang lubos. Let's take note. Verse 8 and 9, there's a danger for the unbelief. The unbelief will cause us to be blind to see the truth. Chapter 10, in verse 6, sinabi naman dito ni Jesus, ang paglalarawang ito, ngunit hindi nila nauunawaan ang ibig niyang sabihin. The unbelief of the people, the unbelief of the crowd will also cause them not to comprehend, cause them not to understand, and even cause them na hindi nila naririnig ang tinig ng Diyos. So ngayon, tingnan natin ngayon, sino ba ang tupa ngayon na tinutukoy ni Jesus? It actually remind me na ang tupa talaga ni Jesus ay hindi naman sa majority. Ang tunay na tupa ni Jesus, alam niya, hindi naman yan paramihan talaga eh. Because only few will listen, only few will recognize, only few will accept and follow the voice of Jesus Christ. Sa context po ng chapter 9, sino po yung sumunod at sumamba kay Jesus among the crowds? Di ba yung taong bulag na nakakakita? And this is actually his illustration. Now, you have to be very careful kung sino yung pinapakinggan ninyo. At kanino kayo sumusunod. Because there are two types of leader. One who does not go through the door. He goes by the window, at the back, at never the door. Why? Because ang bantay, kapag hindi kanya kilala, will not allow you to come in. Pero sabi niya, siya, ang tunay na shepherd, ay papasok siya. At this is something that we can also examine ourselves. Verse 2, ngunit ang nagdaraan sa pintuan ay siyang pastol ng mga tupa. Pinapasok siya ng bantay at pinapakinggan ng mga tupa ng kanyang tinig. Ano yun? Ano yung isang karakteristik ng isang tunay na pastol ng mga tupa? The sheep will hear the voice of the shepherd. And the shepherd calls the sheep by its name. Di ba ganun din nangyari doon sa bulag na nakakita? Jesus Christ knows who are truly His. He comes and He calls, and those whom He calls, they follow Him. Tinatawag niya ang kanyang mga tupa sa kanilang pangalan. At inilabas sa kulungan. What will Jesus do? To those who recognize His voice, He is the one who will lead them. He is the one who will be guiding them in their life. Kapag nailabas na, siya ay nangunguna. Anong gagawin ng shepherd? He is the one who leads the sheep. Kaya, hindi talaga mawawala ang sheep kapag sila'y sumusunod sa pastol. Siya ay nangunguna sa kanila at sumusunod naman ang mga ito sapagkat kilala nila ang kanyang tinig. Exactly the same pictures that we can also imagine nung nangyari between the discussion of the blind man. The blind man could perhaps listen to the Jewish leaders. Pero kanino siya nakikinig? Nakikinig siya sa boses ni Jesus. He believed and he worshiped Him. Pero itong mga Jewish leaders, sino ba yung sinusunod nila? Sino ba yung kiniklaim nila? No, we cannot be wrong. Because from the very beginning, we are the disciples of Abraham. Sabi naman ni Jesus, kung totoo nga na kayo disciples ni Abraham, how come you're doing the ways of your father, which is the devil? Sabi niya, how come you are saying that to us? Paano naging devil ang aming ama? Na si Abraham ang aming ama? No. Abraham do exactly what is expected of him. Pero kayo, you're also doing exactly what the devil is going to do. You kill, you devour, you mislead the people. You are blind guides of the blind. Sabi ni Jesus. Then next naman, they discredit Jesus Christ. Kami, we are the followers of Moses. But you, we do not know who you are. Sabi naman ni Jesus, okay, even Moses is doing the will of the Father. And I am also doing the will of my Father who sent me. If you don't believe me, believe in my testimony. And also believe to Him who sent Him here. Kaya, dito pa lang sa parable of the door of the sheep, it really describes na yung boses na sinusunod natin, kanino ba talaga? Sometimes we also follow our own voice. Sometimes we follow our own head. Sometimes we want to believe the Bible the way we want it to be, right? Kaya there's actually a danger when we make our heart hard, not tender, to recognize the ways and the leading of the Lord. Narinig natin sa school, narinig natin sa community, narinig natin sa paligid natin that there are so many open doors of opportunities and we are going through those doors only to realize that those doors only provide false hope and temporary happiness. Di ba ganun yung marinig natin sa schools, sa mga companies, sa mga financial gurus? You listen to me. You follow me. If you believe, you pay my seminar so that you will learn how you can find life. But here, Jesus Christ is reminding us all, there might be many options, there might be many choices, but look, lo and behold, there's only one true door that leads you to life, and that is through me. Why? Because if you're going to choose the door, which is me, I will lead you out to what is called life. Life that is abundant. Why? Because even that door, that huge door, will lead you to riches, great wealth. Anong sabi ni Solomon? It never guarantees total happiness when you acquire all the riches of this world. Why? Because our heart never gets full. Our heart never gets satisfied. Because there's emptiness in our soul, there are emptiness in our heart that only Jesus Christ could actually fill up. Kaya, napakaganda po ditong chapter 10, verses 1 to 10. That Jesus Christ was trying to call the people, but only few were able to hear his voice. Only those whose hearts are truly seeking for the Lord. I wish we could have a breakout groups here so we could discuss some questions that will help us to check again and reflect our life upon the Word of God. So ito po yung lesson natin ngayon about the lost sheep. Verse 6, again sa verse chapter 10, sinabi ni Jesus ang paglarawang ito, ngunit hindi nila naunawaan ang ibig niyang sabihin. Our unbelief will also cause us not just to be blind, to see the truth, to see the true light, will also cause our mind not to be able to comprehend the wisdom, the teachings of Jesus Christ that lead us to life. Verse 7, ulitin natin, kaya't muling sinabi ni Jesus, pakatandaan ninyo, ako ang pintuang dinaraanan ng mga tupa. Ang mga nauna sa akin ay mga magnanakaw at mga tulisan, ngunit hindi sila pinapakinggan ng mga tupa. Ako ang pintuan, ang sinumang pumapasok sa pamamagitan ko'y maliligtas. King Solomon also said, there is a way, looks great, looks attractive, looks good, looks promising. Chapter 14, verse 12 ng Proverbs, there's a way which seems good to a man, but its end will only lead to destruction. But if we follow the path of Jesus Christ, it will surely lead us to a life that is abundant. Sabi niya dito, ang nauna sa akin ay mga magnanakaw at mga tulisan, ngunit hindi sila pinapakinggan ng mga tupa. Ako ang pintuan, ang sinumang pumapasok sa pamamagitan ko'y maliligtas. Papasok siya't lalabas at makakatagpo ng pastulan. Ano ulit yung isang promise din ni Jesucristo? Seek God first and His righteousness, and all the things that you believe that makes your life will be given freely to you. This is the invitation of Jesus Christ. Matthew 6:33, seek God first and His righteousness. Seek His kingdom and His righteousness. At ang lahat ng ito, God will help you find them. Not you looking and figuring it out. That sometimes, sabihin natin, ano ba ito? Walang kapahingahan tong buhay ko ngayon ha. Because we are not journeying with God. We're not journeying with Jesus Christ. But here, sabihin dito, ako ang pintuan sa verse 9, ang sinumang pumapasok sa pamagitan ko'y maliligtas, papasok siya at lalabas at nakakatagpo ng pastulan. Dumarating ang magnanakaw para lamang magnakaw, pumatay, at manira ng buhay. Naparito ako upang ang mga tupa, hopefully, we could feel it, Lord. Sometimes, nagiging wayward ako na tupa. Help me. Help me today to renew my vow. Help me today to renew my devotion to you. Help me today to strengthen my faith na hindi ako daling madadala sa kanan at saka sa kaliwa. But I will set my eyes, my heart, my mind, my life to you. Dumarating ang magnanakaw para lamang magnakaw, pumatay at manira. Naparito ako upang ang tupa ay magkaroon ng buhay. Buhay na masaganang lubos. What a very beautiful promise of Jesus Christ. And I hope that we cling on, to our faith in Jesus Christ. Sometimes we just don't understand what's going on with our life today. Sometimes we are confused. Lord God, ano ba ito? I thought life would be very, very easy, will be great, will, will be materially and financially abundant. Truly is. It will come. If it not happen today, just wait. Just be patient and continue to uphold, continue to keep your faith on Jesus Christ. So that's the end of our Bible study. So we have around 12 minutes. Do you have any questions? From the online, you can also put in our chat box any questions. Any reflection that you would like to share from our lesson about chapter 10? The third claim of Jesus Christ, I am the door. I am the gate for the sheep. So if wala po kayong question, but if you'd like to talk to me later, just approach me and let's have a further discussion more about this. Okay, God bless us. And that's the end of our Bible study this morning.